Robert E. Howard's Conan has been called many different things since his arrival in the Weird Tales magazine in 1933. He's been called Conan the Cimmerian and Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Conqueror, Conan the Avenger, Conan the Buccaneer, etc., etc. But as I was reading the Patrice Louinet introduction to the illustrated collection of Robert E. Howard's original Conan stories, I discovered yet another title for this archetypal king of sword and sorcery. That is Conan the Philosopher. Now, in this introduction, Louinet singles out a quotation from the short story Queen of the Black Coast and claims that the following quote is actually representative of the philosophy of Conan. Now, in this quote, we find a really cool little anti-skeptical argument. Conan gives his own reasoning on why he doesn't believe all of reality is an illusion. So let me just read the quote for you at length, and then I will abstract out the anti-skeptical argument. Conan says, "In this world, men struggle and suffer vainly, finding pleasure only in the bright madness of battle. Let me live deep while I live. Let me know the rich juices of red meat and stinging wine on my palate, the hot embrace of white arms, the mad exultation of battle when blue blades flame and crimson. And I am content. Let teachers and priests and philosophers brood over questions of reality and illusion. I know this. If life is illusion, then I am no less an illusion. And being thus, the illusion is real to me. I live, I burn with life, I love, I slay, and am content." Okay, so did you catch it? Did you see the anti-skeptical argument here? Conan is in the midst of propounding his pragmatic, live the life of the warrior to the fullest type philosophy of life, and he gives this quick little argument justifying why he doesn't spend time worrying too much about skeptical questions in metaphysics. Metaphysics just being the study of the nature of reality. Now, if we formulate the thrust of the argument, we might take Conan to be arguing something like this. 1. If reality is wholly illusory, then I would be an illusion also. 2. But I am not an illusion. I have qualitative experience, like the experience of blue blades flaming in crimson, smashing against each other, and rich juices and everything that Conan said earlier. Therefore, 3. Reality is not wholly illusory. Now, this argument is similar to Descartes' cogito ergo sum dictum. Roughly, the fact that I'm thinking presupposes that I exist. I think, therefore I am. So I necessarily exist even when I'm doubting my own existence. This also bears a striking resemblance to St. Augustine's si fallor sum argument. If I'm mistaken, then I exist. That is, I can't be mistaken about my own existence because I must exist in order to be mistaken at all. And yes, if you think that sounds a lot like Descartes, that's because Descartes stole it from Augustine and didn't even give him so much as a footnote. But while Conan's line of reasoning may be superficially similar to Augustine and Descartes, I actually think it's a bit more subtle than theirs. I think Conan goes full pragmatist but ends up in a common sense realist position. If we expand out Conan's thought process, it might go something like this. Say everything is an illusion. If that's the case, then I am an illusion as well, because I am something, and we've stipulated everything is an illusion. But as an illusion myself, this illusory world that I find myself in is real to me. I still eat, I still drink, I still love and slay. I thrive in this illusory world. So if I'm an illusion, living in an illusory world, thriving just the same as I would if my world were not an illusion, and if I were not an illusory being, then what's the difference? What's the difference between an illusory world and a real world if I'm operating in the same exact manner? There is none. So what's left of the concept of illusion if everything is an illusion? Well, nothing. In that case, we've emptied illusion of its meaning. If everything is an illusion, then nothing is. So then there's no difference between a wholly illusory world and the real world. So then I live in the real world, even if we want to call that world an illusion. Now, would Conan fully get behind my interpretation of him? I'm not so sure. I think the whole point of his pragmatic aphorism is that it's meant to be apprehended more immediately, like the punchline of a joke, rather than explained like I'm trying to do here. I think that with most good aphorisms, there's a tacit knowledge that we gain when we apprehend its true meaning, but which resists like full elucidation. So once again, that old ancient Fremen saying is relevant here as well. Truth suffers from too much analysis. Exegeting Conan is a dangerous business, but I figured his wise saying was worth the risk, even if it earns me a cleft in my skull. Hey guys, Parker here. That was one of my essays from Parker's Ponderings, my Substack. I've been writing a lot about the interplay of philosophy and science fiction and fantasy, and I wanted to test that out here on YouTube as well. So if you guys like these video essay style videos, then leave me a comment so I know to do more of them. Make sure you like this and subscribe and share it with your favorite sword and sorcery nerd.